Next words we heard were, "We did everything we could, but we couldn't save your mom." And that feeling it haunts you every day.
It's a story that took 1 year to tell. Last October, Pickaway County pit bulls mauled and killed a 72-year-old grandmother outside of her home in Ashville. Her family's attorney calls this case one of the most gruesome dog attacks in the state. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Rodney Dunnigan.
And I'm Jessica Ralston. Jo Ann Echelbarger's children are now sitting down with ABC6 On Your Side investigator Lisa Rantala in an exclusive interview. And Lisa, they're revealing new details in this case that they say jeopardized their own lives.
That is true. Bill Rogers and Earlene Romine sat down with me for an hour to talk about their mother, the horrific way she died, and how little was done to prevent it. And they're revealing the days of terror they say they lived after her death. They call this a case of incompetence and neglect coming from those in charge. And they say they plan to expose it all in court. We know Jo Ann Echelbarger is the 72-year-old woman who was killed.
Whose dog? Is that him?
In what is described to be one of the most gruesome dog attacks in Ohio.
Okay.
But for her two kids, they knew Joanne as everything that was good in this world.
Mom was the rock. She held us together. She was everything.
From holidays, education like Earlene's PhD.
I wanted so much to hear Mom say, "You did it."
To finding a condo accessible for her husband's wheelchair.
She was crazy excited.
Her kids say Joanne was the caregiver for all. But only 5 months into that condo on Kildo Court,
You could see the extent of her injuries. And the one thing that will haunt me to my dying day is the look of absolute terror on her face.
they say dog-fearing Joanne did not know 2 pit bulls lived next door, one deemed dangerous. On October 17th, Adam and Susan Withers' dogs Echo and Apollo escaped and viciously mauled Joanne, who was in her flower garden.
Is that your wife?
That's my wife.
Stan was watching from their screened-in porch, helpless.
Next words we heard were, "We did everything we could, but we couldn't save your mom." And that feeling it haunts you every day.
The trauma then intensified for Bill and Earlene, as Stan, who suffered with Parkinson's disease and dementia, failed to understand Joanne was dead.
We had to over and over and over tell him, "No, she's passed." And that was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life.
They had to stay with Stan in a condo that shared a wall with the Withers.
He was shining a flashlight in the window at us, and then he would walk away, and then he would come back.
Earlene tells me Adam Withers terrorized them for 4 days straight until he was arrested October 21st.
And I told my kids, I said, "Get on the ground and be quiet. Don't move, be quiet."
They knew he was a suspect right next to the victim's family. Right. Looking back, what do you think about that?
Oh, everyone's life was in jeopardy there.
Yeah.
But what the kids didn't know then is what we uncovered earlier this year.
No.
Ashville police called the dog warden to remove the pit bulls weeks before the attack on September 27th. The dogs were loose and officers believed they had been exposed to cocaine. And body-worn camera video obtained by ABC6 Investigates.
I don't know what you want me to do. Call warden won't come out.
Officers are heard saying the dog warden refused to answer their call and come to the scene. On September 11th, a judge ordered that the pit bulls be removed from the Withers home in a civil case filed by the condo association. However, officers are seen driving Apollo back to his home in their patrol car. Weeks later, the dogs and Joanne would be dead.
Introduce State's Exhibit 43.
Dog warden Preston Schumacher sat next to the prosecutor each day at Adam and Susan Withers' trial.
Guy should have done his job, but didn't, and could have stopped all of it sitting right there. Yeah, that was not lost on me.
Both mother and son were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, but Bill and Erlene said more need to be held accountable.
Do you think the county is taking accountability?
It doesn't feel like it.
Bill and Erlene filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the dog warden, property management, and condo association, saying they all played a role in their mother's death.
I can literally see her in my mind's eye, and I can hear her saying, "How are you going to make this better?"
They're asking 1 year later why the dog warden is still on the job.
This can never happen again, ever.
And if policies have changed at all.
And it is my job to make sure that better policies, better procedures,
won't come out.
better laws, better things are in place so that someone else doesn't have to suffer.
Wow, certainly heartbreaking. Lisa, what are you hearing from the county after all this time?
Well, this week I did ask Pickaway County those very questions. I requested the dog warden's personnel file along with the file of the dog warden employee who did not go out to that September 27th call. I've also asked for any and all policies that have changed since October 17th of last year, the day of Jo Ann Echelbarger's death. And when we do receive that information, we will be sure to bring it to our viewers.
So many levels of heartbreak in this case, Lisa. Thank you so much. Investigator Lisa Rontola, always on your side. Thank you.